So, so today we'll be talking about how to create a thesis statement, and I'm sure we'll be learning a lot. And so, first thing first. So before I even show us how to create a thesis statement, one of the ideas I want to show you all is, what your professor expects from you as a college student, right? What your professor expects from your academic writing style, right? Because I believe that even as students in college, we have to understand the expectation or the writing expectations of our professors before even knowing how to construct a thesis statement, right? So, so the first part here talks about the research nature of academic writing. And it says in academic writing, this construction of an original idea is not necessarily your goal. Rather than trying to invent the wheel, you might think about how to reinvent it. Consider how your ideas contribute to the scholarly conversation, how they widen our understanding or expose the limitation of well-established ideas. So basically, or should I say, according to Gregory Semenza in his book, Graduate Study for the 21st Century, right? He was trying to discuss the idea that in academic writing, your professor is not expecting you to, write about ideas that are already known, right? Your professor basically expects you to actually contribute to already established ideas, right? Or, contribute further knowledge to already established ideas, right? So basically in academic writing, you're not just, narrating or explaining a topic, right? You're actually contributing to a topic, right? For instance, if I'm going to write an essay about, for instance, if I'm going to write an essay about how to, okay, maybe if I'm going to write an essay about bicycles, right? In academic writing, your professor is not he's not basically expecting you to, describe, a bicycle, right? Your professor basically will be expecting you to describe or explain, other aspects of a bicycle, right? Maybe talk about how cycling leads to, reduces low blood pressure, how cycling reduces high blood pressure, right? That would be an academic essay, right? Your professor is not expecting you to just define what cycling is or just describe a bicycle, right? So that's what academic writing is all about. And now the second idea here. So first thing, as you can see here, I talk about expectations for academic writing. The first thing is factually answering questions of interest. In an academic writing or in an academic setting, you're supposed to write or choose topics of your own interest, right? Choose ideas, write about ideas that interest you, right? So, or should I say in academic research, right? You're supposed to write about ideas that interest you, and not just write about ideas that interest you. You're supposed to add to the body of knowledge, right? Number two, you have to factually interrogate or dialogue observations, right? You're supposed to ask questions about, observations, about your experiences or about experiences that you see in our society, right? You're supposed to ask questions about them and then discuss those observations, right? So basically it says here you are exposing limitations of already established ideas, right? So you are asking question, exposing limitation. You're also talking about some blind spots people may not see about certain experiences and certain ideologies. So, and the last part is focusing on a particular area of study. So in academic writing, you're supposed to focus on a particular area of study, right? So if you're writing an essay, right, you're not supposed to discuss several fields, right? Just focus on one field. If you want to talk about if you want to talk about exercising, just focus on exercising. You don't have to talk about exercising and then talk about academics, right? Those are interlocking fields right there, right? So just focus on one area of study. So that's all academic writing is all about, basically, right? You answer questions of interest, you factually interrogate observations, and then you focus on an area of study, right? So do you have any questions so far? All right.
No.
Sounds good. Now, your professor's desire, right? Now, what editors do look for is the new angle, the new combination, the fresh, the deeply felt or deeply thought, right? With this in mind, ask yourself how you can solve a particular problem posed by a text or answer a question raised by previous scholarship or even your own reading, right? So basically, in academic writing, so your professor is expecting that you've deeply thought or you've had deep considerations about a topic, right? And then after having those deep considerations, you should ask yourself how you can solve a problem concerning a topic, right? Basically, that problem, it should be an idea that you have discovered, right? So, for instance, I can actually like discuss, okay, many people might be discussing about, I don't know, I'm trying to think about a topic right now. Maybe, okay, yes, we'll be using a lot of ideas about quality sleep in this session. So maybe quality sleep, right? Many people have talked about the idea of quality sleep, right? But personally, if I want to do a research on quality sleep, right, I'm actually just focus on, okay, why do college students deprive themselves of quality sleep? Now, I know that so many people have talked about quality sleep, but now my focus, right, is college students, right? I know some people might have talked about, why college students also, deprive themselves of quality sleep, right? Or why young adults deprive themselves of quality sleep. But my point here is that your professor is expecting that you focus on a particular area, right, of a discussion, right? So since so many people must have talked about quality sleep, right? So many scholars might have discussed about quality sleep. But then if I want to do my own personal research, I might say, okay, I just want to focus on why college students deprive themselves of quality sleep, right? So that's just the whole point here, right? So what editors look for is, just a new angle, a new combination of fresh ideas. And you should ask yourself how you can solve a particular problem posed by a text or answer a question raised by previous scholarship or even your own reading, right? So now the next part is this. What is a thesis statement, right? Can someone help me out? I know it's shown here on the screen, but in your own words, what do you think a thesis statement is? Let me call Samuel. Oh, I can't hear you, Samuel. Oh, Samuel, you're on mute. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is all pretty new stuff to me. I just feel like reading what's on the screen.
Okay, can say it in your own words. So.
What is a thesis statement? A thesis statement indicates the purpose of your research essay and discussion focus of your chosen topic.
Yes.
So yeah, obviously it wants to focus in on something and not be some broad random thing, but it wants to have a focus and a direction.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Sounds good. Yes, like I like the idea. I like the fact that you talked about a direction, right? The thesis statement shows the direction to which your essay is going, right?
Mhm.
Hi Judith.
Everyone else is on mute.
Oh,
Hello, how are you?
oh, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome, awesome. In your own words, do you want to tell us what a thesis statement is?
Not right now because I'm at my grandson's swim class, so I'm gonna be in here for about 20 more minutes, and
Okay,
then I'll get out. But I didn't want to miss the class, so I'm
all right.
listening.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. All right, Veronica. Do you want to tell us what a thesis statement is in your words?
Okay. So a thesis statement is I'm gonna use the word essay.
Okay.
That's maybe focused on a particular subject, with supporting documentation or supporting statements, something you've proven true.
Very true.
Okay.
Very true. So the only part the only part that didn't sound right there was the word essay, right?
Okay.
But the rest was so good, right? Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually like focused, and yes, it has supporting points. Very correct. And we're actually going to talk about that later, right? How a thesis statement develops supporting points. Thank you very much for that, Veronica and Samuel. So now a thesis statement indicates the purpose of your research. That's just as simple as that. It tells us the purpose of your research, right? And it tells us the discussion focus of your chosen topic, right? Remember what we discussed, right? In an academic setting, we are not asking you to reinvent the wheel. We are just asking you to just give new insights or further insights about a particular topic, right? So that's just it about a thesis statement. So a thesis statement indicates the purpose of your research or essay. Like what Samuel said, a thesis statement gives us direction. It tells your audience of the direction to which you're going concerning your essay, right? It talks like what Veronica said too. It's a thesis statement, exposes the subject matter of your essay. So basically, with all that has been said, we can understand that without a thesis statement in your essay, basically you have no essay. Let's just put it that way, right? So you can write like 1,000 words or 1,000 pages, but if there is no thesis statement, that's like your professor will just give you a zero. That's it. Like, I don't know why you've written this, right? Your professor will ask, like, say, I don't know why you've written this essay. So basically, you must have a thesis statement in every essay you write. Well, there are some essays you don't have to, put a thesis statement. Like, for instance, a reflection essay. I'm sure many of you that have written like a reflection essay, maybe you're just writing a reflection of some ideas you got from a book, right? And how that book affected your life and how that book, affects your current understanding, right? So you don't need a thesis statement for that. Sometimes you don't need a thesis statement, but in a research environment, when you're writing a research essay, right, you must have a thesis statement in your essay. It's always it's very, very important because it states the purpose of your essay, right? It tells us where you're going to. And your thesis statement most of the time should always be in the introduction paragraph of your essay, right? That will be the first thing your audience will be looking for. So I think Veronica raised her hands.
Yes, can we ask questions?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. So reading is fundamental. I misunderstood the question. I was thinking of the body of the document. So when I write a thesis statement, it should, my document should center around this statement and nothing else, correct? I should not add anything other than what's in my statement, correct?
Very correct.
Okay.
100% correct. Yes, you should not go below or beyond your thesis statement, right? You should just, so again, like I like the word, I think it was Samuel that used the word, or you, Veronica, used the word focus, right? And okay, the word is even here, right? So, and your thesis statement shows your audience the focus of your essay, right? So you must not go beyond that focus, right? Or you must not go below. Like, for instance, if my essay, is going to talk about how, maybe, okay, for instance, a topic could be texting, um, texting while driving has led to numerous deaths among young adult drivers. Texting while driving has led to numerous deaths among young adult drivers. Right? Let's imagine that's my thesis statement, right? It means that I'm supposed to focus on texting while driving among young adult drivers. I'm not supposed to now later talk about, drunk driving, right? That will be going outside the focus, right? So I'm supposed to focus on texting while driving, right? So that's just the whole idea of a thesis statement, right? You're not supposed to go above or beyond your thesis statement. You're supposed to focus. But later on, I'm going to show you how that is even possible, right? How to create a thesis statement, and how your paragraph or body paragraph can, can connect, or can relevantly and always connect to your thesis statement. Yeah. All right. So let's go to the next part. All right. So this here is just like an image here, like a video image, and I just wanted to show you all this, right? So this is how you should view a thesis statement right here. Now you can see these kids, they are drawing, right? They're actually drawing some things, right? But then you can see what they're doing, right? Whatever they're drawing, right, is actually connected to what's at the middle. So you can see that whatever they're drawing here is connected to the school building at the middle, right here, right? So if you're thinking of a thesis statement, think of it as, okay, a general topic, the school building, right? And different aspects of that general topic. So like right here, there is a school building, and then we can see maybe this child right here drawing a clock, right? So when she thinks of a school building, what comes to her mind is a clock, right? You can see, this boy here drawing a crayon and a bag. So when he thinks of a school building, what comes to his mind is a bag. And also what comes to his mind is the student, raising his hands up here to answer a question, right? So each and every one of us here, we can actually discuss a topic, but a thesis statement involves a general topic and different thesis points. right? So your professor is never asking you to talk about a school, to draw a school, right? But your professor surely is expecting that you talk about aspects of a school that is of your interest. So that's a thesis statement right there. So a thesis statement comprises a general topic and different aspects of that topic that you want to discuss. Right? So that's it right there. I just wanted to put in that image. So is there any questions so far?
No?
Good. All right. So the purpose of a thesis statement, right? So I have what we call the TAPS purpose of a thesis statement, right? So without a thesis statement, like I said, without a thesis statement, your research essay has no value to the body of knowledge, right? So you can write 1,000 pages, but without a thesis statement, that essay has no value, right? So the TAPS purpose of a thesis statement is just like an acronym. So we have T stands for topic, A stands for audience, P stands for points, and S stands for structure, right? So thesis statement or a thesis statement informs your readers of the topic. For instance, quality sleep, right? That's a topic right there, right? So for instance, you can have a topic like quality sleep is necessary, right? So the topic there is quality sleep, right? Your thesis statement would always inform your reader of the topic you desire to discuss, right? And then your thesis statement informs your readers of the audience. For instance, college students could be your audience or your target audience. So you can have, since we have a topic, you know, since quality sleep is the topic, then our audience could be, you know, college students, and then we can have, you know, quality sleep is necessary for college students. So in your thesis statement, you must have a topic, you must have a topic, and you must have your audience or your target audience. So you must indicate your topic and your target audience, right? And then the third aspect are your points, right? So these are, so the thesis statement informs your readers of the points you want to argue or indicate concerning the topic, right? So there could be different points we can indicate concerning quality sleep, maybe on the healthy screen time, assignment procrastination, on discipline time management, effective focus, healthy diet, and productivity, right? There are so many other points about quality sleep, right? But then in this case, right, I just chose some of these points because they help me to think about, you know, the benefits of quality sleep, right? So now your thesis statement here is college students, right? The audience need the discipline of quality sleep, the topic, for sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment. So sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment, those are the points. And right here, this first example here is an example of a thesis statement because it has your target audience, college students. It has the topic, quality sleep, and it has the points, sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment. Now, in academic writing, you must always have a minimum of 3 points, right? Like your professor would always expect a minimum of 3 points, right? So as you can see, I have sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment. Now, another example here is many college students deprive themselves of academic success benefits of quality sleep due to unhealthy screen time. That's unhealthy phone usage when students are like playing with their phones, watching videos before they sleep, right? Unhealthy screen time, assignment procrastination, and unbalanced student work management, right? So right here, so for this example, Veronica, can you tell me, what are the points or what are the thesis points here in this second example?
Okay, that relates to unhealthy screen, to the item in quotations.
Yes, like the second one, the second example. So what are the thesis points?
Um, Assignment, no. Unhealthy screen time.
Okay,
Um, all of them, really.
yeah, like all of them. Can you state them?
Oh, okay. Deprive themselves of academic success, of quality sleep due to unhealthy screen time, assignment procrastination, and unbalanced student work management.
Very good, right? But then you have to note, Veronica, that the thesis points or the points here is just simply unhealthy screen time, assignment procrastination, and unbalanced student work management,
Okay.
right? So, but then, Samuel, do you know what's the target audience here?
Hello. Hi.
College students.
Very good, college students, right? And oh, okay, Veronica, what's the topic here?
What is the topic?
Yeah, for the second example.
The topic is depriving themselves.
No,
No. The topic. Ooh,
what are we talking about? What do you think we're talking? What's the main topic here?
the main topic is losing the benefits of quality sleep.
Yeah, correct. The benefits of quality sleep, right? But then we are saying that many college students deprive themselves of the academic success benefits of quality sleep, right? So that could be a topic right there, very correct. Or we could just say quality sleep, right? So yeah, thank you very much, Samuel and Veronica. So, but then now let me just ask you all, before we go to the next part, do you have any questions for me?
I do.
Yes.
Does it matter? You mentioned the TAPS acronym. Does
Yes.
it matter which order those are listed in the thesis statement? Each of those items?
Very good question, Samuel. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Thank you for that question. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So now the last part, right? Your thesis statement, right, determines the structure of your essay. The number of thesis points determines the number of body paragraphs or topic sentences. So now this goes back to Veronica's question, right? About, Veronica was saying that, the essay or the body paragraph of your essay must solely focus on your thesis statement. Now, since we had, if we go back to the previous, if we go back to the previous thesis statement that we had here, we had already constructed a thesis statement with a topic, we have the target audience, and we also have the thesis points, right? So since we have that, right, here we have 3 thesis points: sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is that after your first paragraph, right? What's the first, can someone tell me the first paragraph of their essay? What's the first paragraph called? First paragraph of your essay is called what? Anybody? Anybody? First paragraph of your essay is called what?
You mean after the thesis? The
No.
first,
No, not after the thesis. Like when you're writing an essay,
uh-huh.
the first paragraph.
Oh, what is it called? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. What's it called? Starts with an I.
It's not information, is it?
No, no.
I have,
Okay, but it's an
It's
in.
introduction.
Yes, very well. Introduction paragraph. Thank you very much, Judith. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, introduction paragraph, right? So again, like we all said, like in your essay, right? In your essay, you must have your introduction paragraph. That's the first essay. That's the first paragraph in your essay, right? And in your introduction paragraph, that is where you indicate your thesis statement, right? That's like very important, right? So now your thesis statement, like we all said here, is this, right? As our thesis statement has 3 points. In an academic setting, your thesis statement must always have a minimum, right? A minimum of 3 points. Now we have here sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment, right? So after your introduction paragraph, right? Your first body paragraph, right? The next paragraph that comes after your introduction paragraph would focus on discussing how quality sleep, right, helps with sound productivity, right? Your second body paragraph will focus on how quality sleep affects effective focus. And your third body paragraph will focus on how, quality sleep helps college students, to have knowledge retainment, right? So that's just the whole structure. So your thesis statement determines the structure of your essay, right? Body paragraph 1, focus on sound productivity. Body paragraph 2, focuses on effective focus, and body paragraph 3 focuses on knowledge retainment. Any question? Veronica, do you have a question? Any question?
I'm sorry. No, I don't have a question.
Right.
So I just want to make sure I understand. So
Yeah.
the TS, the thesis statement, is the structure. And after I determine my structure of my writing, the first paragraph is my introduction paragraph, which introduces, what does it introduce?
Yeah, it introduces your thesis statement, right?
When you say introduce, you mean it gives a description?
Basically, no, okay, so this is what I'm saying, right? You're in your introduction paragraph, right? You should always have your thesis statement placed in your introduction paragraph.
I should have it placed in there?
Yes, like this. So like this first example here is a thesis statement, right?
Right.
So if I'm writing an essay, I'm supposed to place this in my introduction paragraph, like the first paragraph. And sometimes some people would say it should be the last sentence in the introduction paragraph, right? So this would be the the last sentence in the introduction paragraph.
So the items in quotation is first, and then this example is the paragraph, introduction paragraph. I mean, I'm not understanding. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Very good question. So you mean these quotations here?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, no, that's just a statement. That's nothing. Doesn't have any. I'm just trying. That just how would I put it? Those are just examples of points.
Oh, okay. All right. I
Yeah.
misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, but right here is an example. This below is an example of a thesis statement,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Right.
And remember, it's a thesis statement because it has the audience, right? The target audience, college students, the topic, quality sleep, and then the 3 points: sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment, right? So basically, I'm supposed to, like, if I'm writing an essay, or if any students will be writing an essay, they're supposed to place this thesis statement in their introduction paragraph, always, right? That should always be in your introduction paragraph. And, to even make it more effective, right, it should always be the last sentence in your introduction paragraph, right? Your thesis statement should be the last statement or the last sentence in your introduction paragraph. So I'm just going to ask Veronica one more time. Do you have any question? Is there anything you don't understand?
No, I understand. I don't know why I was confusing the quotations as part of the paper, the essay, but I understand now.
Yes.
This is just something you were using to help clarify the examples. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Samuel, do you have any questions?
Yeah. What did TAP stand for once more?
Topic. T stands for topic.
Yeah.
A stands for audience.
Yeah.
P stands for points.
Okay.
Points. And S stands for structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So, thesis statement for journal reflection, right? So basically, my point here is that even you should always feel free to create a thesis statement when writing a reflection essay, right? There are some of you in your courses, I know some of you write reflection essay, after you read a book, your professor will ask you to, state how the ideas in the text affects you, or state what you've learned directly from the text, right? So you can always feel free to write a thesis statement, right? When you're constructing a reflection essay. So it says you allow your argument to emerge from your reading by attending carefully to the dominant conversation about a subject that previous scholars have conducted. You will find yourself forming your own opinions on the matter. Once you have identified what you wish to see and determine that it has not already been said in the same way, you will be ready to write. So basically, right, when you're writing your reflection essay and you discover what you want to write about, you can also always construct a thesis statement, right, with those same 3 points, or that uses the TAPS rule, right? You can always do that. So don't hide from writing a thesis statement when, drawing a reflection essay or when constructing a reflection essay. All right, so that's my point there. Now, the 5-step process to create a thesis statement. The 5-step process. Now, step one, like we all said, right? Choose a topic that is arguable or relevant. Now, that's very important, right? I'm just gonna ask you, Veronica, what course are you actually doing right now that requires you writing a thesis statement?
I guess I can show myself. I shouldn't be camera shy. So, right now I'm in a, oh my goodness, I know what I am. I'm in the Christian care program. So currently I'm in a practicum where I'm actually writing out teaching points and teaching people how to be caregivers. So what are you asking me?
Yeah,
How does this relate to my class?
Yeah, very well. Like you already answered the question. I just want to know the course you're doing. And yeah, you can also answer like, how would you choose a topic in this class? I know you're going to write about how, I think you said how caregiving is important, right?
Mhm.
So what particular topic are you going to choose about this desire that you have?
The first topic I chose is self-care, saying you have to care for yourself before you can care for others. So my first topic is self-care.
Very good. The topic is self-care. That's a very brilliant topic, actually, self-care. And again, it's not just brilliant, it's not just only brilliant, it's arguable and it's relevant. It's needed in our society, right?
Mhm.
And again, when I also say relevant, it also goes back to the idea of what we call carriers, right? Carriers means that it's timely, right? Because we hear so many topics, so many people talking about the idea of self-care, even among church members, church leaders, and all that. Very good topic. Samuel, what course are you taking now that requires a thesis statement?
I haven't started yet.
Oh, you haven't started yet. Wow.
No.
That's but you know what? Well, you're starting well though, knowing this. Yeah, you're starting well. So but then, right, this is it. Just choose a topic that is arguable or relevant. And depending on your field of study, choose a topic that is suitable to your interest or concern. Right? Don't choose what you know you can't defend. Don't choose a topic that you know you can't, or that you know you're not even interested in. Right? Choose a topic you're interested in, choose a topic you're passionate about. That's what academic writing is all about, right? Now, examples of topics. There are so many examples, right, of a general topic, but these are some examples. So we have distracted driving, social media usage, addiction crisis, cultural diversity, depression, suicide, iPhone, Android, adult education, cancel culture, free speech, cyberbullying, baptism, baking cake, LGBTQ, quality sleep, exercising, mental health, marijuana usage, the believer and alcohol usage, abortion, school uniform, church leadership, organizational leadership, gun violence and possession, biblical inherency, body positivity, gas price inflation. Those are all topics you can talk about. But then if I want to talk about this topic, right, these topics here, I won't choose a topic that I'm not interested in, right? You have to make sure you choose a topic that you're passionate about. So that's it. Any questions? Very good. All right. Now, the second part, step 2, right? The first part is choose a topic, right? Step 1 is choose a topic. Now, the second part is ask or provide research questions, right? Remember, we're talking about steps for creating a thesis statement, right? First step, choose a topic. The second step, provide your research questions, right? provide your research question. So after choosing your topic, state your research questions using open-ended question markers, right? So questions such as why, what, or how, right? It says, do not start your research questions with close-ended markers such as is, what, are, where, should, can, could, would, and will, right? Close-ended markers only provide a yes or no answer, but open-ended markers provide further reasons and exposition for arguments or topics, right? So right now, your second step is just to provide research questions. For instance, Veronica, you'll be writing about self-care, right? So if I were going to write about self-care, right, to construct a thesis statement, the second part would be for me to state, my research question, right? So my research question could start with either why, what, or how, right? For instance, why is self-care important? Why is self-care beneficial? How can we observe self-care? Right? That's a kind of research question, right? If I were going to talk about drunk driving, I can say how can young adults avoid drunk driving, right? Or how can the government help eliminate drunk driving, right? So I'm not supposed to start with question markers or close-ended markers such as is, what, are, where, or should. If I start with, okay, is self-care important, right? The answer would, well, yes, right? Self-care is important, right? So, but that's just giving us a yes or no answer, right? If I say, is drunk driving wrong, right? Yes, it is wrong, right? That's just it, right? It's just giving us a yes or no answer. But if I say, why, or if I say, why is self-care important? If I say, why is self-care important? I would say self-care is important because of blah, blah, and blah, right? I'm going to give a more descriptive answer, a more arguable answer. Do you have any questions? Anybody? Hi, Judith.
Hi. Okay, so if I'm like Veronica, I'm doing Christian counseling, but I'm also doing a dual master's in Masters of Divinity. So I have a little ways to go, but my mindset is to do a thesis on transformational Christian leadership.
Sweet. That's good. So have you asked yourself any research question about transformational leadership?
Not necessarily. I'm doing some reading now in some of the courses that I'm taking while I'm reading the different books. And as you talked about the journals that we have to do, I'm doing some discovery of my own mindset or thinking and of the culture and what I see from the beginning. I'm 62 years old. So I've been in ministry for a long time, but I'm seeing a ministry being transformed. However, everybody's not doing it well. So I'm kind of trying to pick apart the reasons why is not doing well, and the ones that are doing well, why they are doing well. So that kind of thing.
That's, you know what, that's so excellent, Judith, because like we said at the beginning of the course, right? You must all, sorry, I said at the beginning of the course, like we said at the beginning of this session, right? You must always draw your thesis from already established ideas, or you must always draw your thesis statement from your readings, right? So I think you have a good start because you said you are just in this discovery stage, right? You're still discovering, and that's a perfect start for a research work, right? That's why, you know, even if you're writing a dissertation later on, you're going to have to, you know, your chapter 1 is just like an exposition of what you want to talk about, and then your chapter 2 will be a literature review. A literature review must show your audience that you have gone through this stage you're talking about, like the stage of discovery. So you are in a good, you're actually in a good start. Now, when you're done with this discovery stage, what I would just advise you do is, you know, like when you're done with discovery, the next part is that you want to like draw your thesis statement, right? I would just advise you to provide your research questions by using the open-ended question markers, the why, what, and how, right? Why is blah, blah, blah? Why is transformational leadership efficient in urban churches, right? Why is it efficient? You know, so those are like some that would just be a good way. That will make it much easier for you. Don't start with words like is, what, are, where, should, can. Those will just give you yes or no answers, right? Is transformational leadership good? Yes, everybody will say yes, right? Like most people will say yes. Let me not say everybody. Most people would say yes, right? But then that's not, those kinds of questions are not built for academic research. Using open-ended question markers, those are much more efficient for academic research. Yeah. Right. Any further questions? Hi, Carol. You have a question?
No, I just got on late, and I'm just really just listening in, thinking about what I missed in the beginning, and just trying to, I'm coming in the middle of it. But if I think of any questions, I'm not shy. I'll let you know. But I was just caught up in some things that got me waylaid, and I'm here, and I want to thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a much needed topic because I did I wrote a paper and I had to do a thesis statement, and I didn't even know how to do the thesis statement. I just used an example that the instructor gave.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a lot out of when you say these open-ended questions, because I did exactly the opposite. I stated what I wanted to, what my position was, and went from there.
Yes. So, well, remember, right? Again, thanks for even stating that, right? Remember, this is just a process. This is not your thesis statement. What we have here is just the process towards creating a thesis statement, right? So this here is not even the thesis statement, right? So before you create your thesis statement, right, you must have your topic. That's the first step, right? We are just in step 2, right? You must have your topic. The second step, you must provide your research questions. So like we said, self-care, right, is our topic, right? And now, an open-ended question we can ask ourselves concerning self-care could be, why is self-care important? Or if I want to like make it more descriptive, I can say, why is self-care important for church pastors, right? Or I can say, how can church pastors exercise, or I know they like using the word cultivate. How can church pastors cultivate self-care, right? So those are open-ended questions. So I can't say, is self-care important for church leaders? Like, we all say yes, right? So close-ended questions just only give us a yes or no answer. Now let's go to the third part. Okay, examples of research questions. Okay, I have some examples. What are the benefits of quality sleep? Why are many leaders guilty of sexual misconduct at the peak of their careers? Right. So I got this research question from an essay called the Bathsheba syndrome, right? That talks about how, how leaders, like top leaders, once they get to the peak of their career, they just fall to sexual misconduct. So why are many leaders guilty of sexual misconduct at the peak of their career? How does sleep deprivation affect people? What are the causes of sleep deprivation? How does selfish leadership affect team creativity? How can believers become culturally competent? What are the modern ideologies leading to the rise of divorce, right? As you can see, these are like the open-ended markers, right? They don't give you a yes or no answer, right? Any question so far, anyone? Any question? Any question? Samuel, do you have a question?
No?
All right, awesome. All right, step 3, answer the research question. That will be your next step. So once you have your research questions, like what we have here, we have this. For instance, what are the benefits of quality sleep, right? The next thing you want to do is answer the question, right? So look at this example. What are the benefits of quality sleep? Productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment. I know there are many qualities out there, right? There are many benefits out there, right? But productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment. Another example, how does sleep deprivation affect people? Unhealthy screen time, procrastination, and unbalanced student work management. So those are the answers. Question, answer, right? So the first thing you do, right, to draw a thesis statement, the first thing you do, you come up with your topic. The second thing you want to do, you come up with your research question using open-ended question markers. And the third thing you want to do is answer the research question, right? So that's all you just need to do. So we're done with the third step, right? And now the last part, the fourth step, right? We have 5 steps, right? The fourth step. Remember, we have 5 steps. So this is the fourth step. Combine topic and answer. Combine your topic and your answer. So it says this, combine your topic and the answer, right? Remember, we had a topic, we had a research question, and then we have the research answer. Let's just call it, for the sake of this session, let's just call it the research answers, right? We developed our answers, right? And then we can say, for this fourth step, what you want to do is only combine the research topic and the research answers, right? Now, since here we're talking about quality sleep, so we can say quality sleep is beneficial, right? The topic is beneficial because it enhances sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retention. That's just it. Right? And the second one, sleep deprivation results, because we're talking about sleep deprivation, right? Sleep deprivation results from unhealthy screen time, procrastination, and unbalanced student work management. Right? So remember, so if we go back, we had what's the benefit of quality sleep? Quality sleep is the topic, right? Or benefit, or we can, like you said, Veronica, benefits of quality sleep, right? And then here, the second example, sleep deprivation is the topic. And then the answers to the question was productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment. The answer to the first question, and the answer to the second question was unhealthy screen time, procrastination, and unbalanced students' work. Now, for your fourth step, we're saying you should combine the topic and the answer in one sentence, right? So quality sleep is beneficial because it enhances sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment. The second one, sleep deprivation results from unhealthy screen time, procrastination, and unbalanced student work management. Yeah. So do you have any questions? Anybody, any questions?
Question. So at the end of this, can you send us your PowerPoint? Because I'm driving and I can't take any notes, but
Yes.
you have our email addresses. So can you send that?
Yes, I'm going to send that to you all. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And the video too. You're going to get the video too after this.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so let's go to the next part, right? We're done with step 4. Now let's go to the 5th step. Now the next step is for you to revise for specificity, right? Now that's the last part. Basically, your thesis statement must be specific enough. Now, you had your 4th step, right? The thesis statements you come up with in your 4th step, I would advise or suggest that you just call that a rough draft thesis statement. What you have here in the 4th step is a rough draft thesis statement, right? But now for your 5th step, what you have to do is revise this thesis statement, right? In a way that the thesis statement becomes specific, right? For instance, you have this. For your rough draft, you had quality sleep is beneficial because it enhances sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retention, right? That was what we had from the 4th step, right? But now to revise this, you have to ask yourself, quality sleep for who? Right? Remember what we talked about, the TAPS, right? T stands for what? Can someone help me? T stands for what?
Topic.
A stands for what?
Audience.
Audience, right? So this part, what we see in this rough draft is that we don't have our audience, right? Or do you see any audience here in the rough draft? Sorry, in this rough draft?
It's general.
It's general.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I like that word. It's general, right? So you must have your topic. Your audience, right? So look at the revised one here. Look at this revised thesis statement. I have the audience there. High school students need the discipline of quality sleep for sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment or retention. Do you get it? So now I've added high school student because I must focus. I must have a focus, right? I must have my audience, right? What we call the target audience. So do you have any question? Anybody? And again, remember, right? So once you're revising the rough draft, right, you can always feel free to, even tweak it, right? As you can see, I started with high school students need the discipline. I use the word discipline of quality sleep. You can tweak it as you want, right? Instead of just saying, oh, quality sleep is beneficial and all that. So high school students need the discipline of quality sleep for sound productivity, effective focus, and knowledge retainment. Now let's look at the second example. Sleep deprivation leads to negative consequences of unhealthy screen time, procrastination, and unbalanced student work management. Now, let's look at this. What's the problem with this second draft? Can someone help me? I'll call on Carol. Can you help me?
I'm gonna try, but I don't even know what tools you all have been using. But I'm gonna see. Sleep deprivation
Yeah.
leads to the negative consequences of unhealthy screen time, procrastination, and unbalanced student work management. It's not specific.
Very good.
To who the sleep deprivation, as in the parentheses, for who? It's not specific.
Very good. Thank you very much. Very good. Very good. Thank you very much for that. Yes, for who? It's as simple as that, right? So now if you look at the revised thesis statement, right, I have many college students deprive themselves of academic success benefits of quality sleep, right? But you don't need to have, well, in this case, leads to the negative consequences, right? As you can see, I have this leads to negative consequences of unhealthy screen time. Now, I have here in brackets, in what sense? Now, you don't need to change that. It's not necessary, right? For this, you can leave it as negative consequences if you want, but then I always prefer to just have a much more specific indication of what I mean by negative consequences, right? So I wrote here, many college students deprive themselves of academic success, or many college students, I can say many college students experience, many college students experience academic failure, right? I can also say that, but then in this case, I can just say many college students deprive themselves of academic success benefits, deprive themselves of the academic success benefits of quality sleep due to unhealthy screen time, procrastination, and unbalanced student work management. But then some of you might just, not change this. Some of you might just say, okay, I just want it as negative consequences, and that's fine, right? Can just say sleep deprivation leads to the negative consequences of unhealthy screen time, procrastination, and unbalanced students' work. But the only main problem here is that you don't have your target audience, right? For who? That's many college students, right? So do you have any questions? Anybody? Further questions? Yeah. So then we've talked about all these steps, right? Again, like I said, the first step, right? Choose your topic, right? The second step, right? Ask those, research questions, right? The third step, answer the research question. The fourth step, combine, just combine the topic and the research answers in one sentence, right? And the fifth step is to revise for, specificity and all that. So that's it basically. Now, there are other areas where you have to revise your essay. We have to always avoid being vague when we are writing our thesis statements. It says here, the best way to revise your thesis statement is to ask questions. Who, what, and what sense, right? So ask questions about each part of the thesis statement and then examine the answers to those questions, right? So an example is this: young people must work hard to succeed in life, right? Someone wrote this as a thesis statement. Young people must work hard in life. right? So let's imagine you have this here as a rough draft thesis statement, right? Let's imagine this is a rough draft thesis statement, right? The question you want to ask, like, who are the young people, right? Can someone help me answer? You can just be creative about it. I'll ask Veronica, who are the young people here?
The young people can be high school students.
Very good, high school students. So we can have it here as high school students. Must work hard. Work hard sounds very vague. High school, imagine we have high school students must work hard. Like that sounds extra vague. What do you mean by work hard? Right? So Samuel, can you help me there? What word can we use instead of work hard? That is, I can find a word that is more specific to high school students. Like you're trying to advise an high school student, right, to work hard. So what does work hard really mean for an high school students?
Put forth their best effort.
That's still the same thing as workout.
Okay.
Best effort. Okay. What can an high school student do to succeed in life? Not just work hard, like something specific. I know it's a very hard question actually, but it's also simple. Like high school student, what we tell an high school student to do, but not saying work hard, not saying something vague, something practical that they can do.
Drawing blanks.
What about designate a specific time, a time allotment for study?
Very good. Who said that? I'm sorry, I don't even know who said that.
Judy.
Hi, Judith. Wow, thank you. Very
You're
good.
welcome.
Yes. Young people must designate specific time for study to succeed in life. Now, the problem there, another problem now, Samuel, this is why I said the question will be hard, right? I just wanted you to be creative because we have in life. Like, what do you mean by life? Like, life is too broad, it's too general. High school students should designate specific time to study in order to succeed in what? Succeed in what? Carol, can you help me out?
In order to succeed in their courses of study.
Exactly, in order to succeed in their courses of study. That is it. That is it. Very good. Now, another issue there is succeed. What do you, succeed is too vague. For an high school student, what does succeeding mean? What does succeeding mean?
To have good outcomes.
What does that mean?
To,
For an high school student.
a high school student, to graduate.
So in order to graduate in what?
In order to graduate from high school.
In order to graduate from high school.
And
right?
In order to graduate with honors from high school.
That's even much more better. Thank you very much, Carol. That sounds good. Sounds good. So my whole point here is this. When you're drawing out your thesis statements, you must be specific, right? You must question each aspect of your thesis statement. Self-care is important for people, right? Veronica, let's imagine you have that. Self-care is important for people. What do you think what's the problem with that sentence, Veronica? Self-care is important for people.
I have not identified who the people are.
Exactly. Very good. So how would you, so what other word can you use instead of people?
Leaders,
Leaders. But then another question, leaders where? Leaders, what kind of leaders?
huh?
What kind of
Church.
leaders?
Can I
Church
say
leaders.
church leaders?
Yes, church leaders. Exactly. But what kind? There are different kinds of church leaders, right? So what kind of church leaders are you talking about? Are you talking about deacons, pastors?
Oh, I'm talking about missionaries.
That's extra excellent, right? Self-care is important for church missionaries because of point A, point B, and point C.
Mhm.
Simple as that, right? So that's it. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Sounds good. All right. Okay. I'm just gonna I'm gonna share this right now. We're just gonna work on this, and see. I'm gonna show you. All right. Now see this. Okay, we've talked about this. Can you all see my screen? Like a
Yes.
new Microsoft Word, right? Thank you. So excess social media usage has negative consequences. Let's look at this, right? Look at that. Can someone like tell me like what's the problem? What's the problem with this thesis statement? A student submitted that to me, right? What's the problem with this thesis statement? If you are the professor, what would you advise the students to do? I'm just gonna ask Judith. Oh, Judith is driving, I'm sorry. I'm gonna ask Samuel.
Negative consequences is a little vague.
Excellent. Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna clap for that. Yes, it is vague. Yes, excess social media usage has negative consequences. That's very vague, right? So, what word can we use? Like, what points can we use there?
Eye strain.
Okay, eye strain. All right, let's imagine I have eye strain. Yeah, I'm just going to put eye strain as a point, right? I know this does not sound grammatically correct, right? Excess social media usage as eye strain. That doesn't sound grammatically correct. So, but can someone else tell me what other problem do we have with this? Something is missing. Remember the TAPS, TAPS, right?
What audience it's for, talking about?
Yeah, the audience, right? So I'm just going to remind Carol, I know you were not here when we talk about the TAPS. So I'm just going to like reiterate that. So C, so in your thesis statement, right? You must have 3 components, right? Or should I say your thesis statement determines 4 components, right? Number 1, the thesis statement determines a topic or indicates a topic, right? In this case, we have social media usage or excess social media usage. That's a topic. Now, your thesis statement must indicate or determine a target audience or an audience. Now, we have the P, right? The thesis statement must indicate a point. And we said in an academic setting, you must always have a minimum of 3 points. And then the final part, which does not necessarily contribute to your thesis statement. All we just said is the S, right? It's TAPS. So S. S stands for the fact that your thesis statement would always determine the structure of your essay. Right? So if I have 3 points, right, 3 thesis points, like we said, it means that I'll divide my body paragraphs into 3 different paragraphs. So 3 different paragraphs. So each paragraph would discuss each point, right? Like, yeah, so I'm going to like discuss that I'm going to discuss further once we're done with explaining this. So we have excess social media usage as, okay, eye strain, that doesn't sound right, but we'll correct that later. So like Samuel said just now, he said, this here is missing the target audience, right? Who are you talking about? So can someone help me? Can someone help me with the target audience, Veronica?
Excess social media usage for people like me, older
Okay.
people. Older people.
Okay.
This sure causes the eye strain for me.
All right. So what's word choice can I use? Carol, can you help me for older
Yeah.
people?
Excessive social media among the aging population.
Correct?
Among aged, okay.
No, you said something. I want to write what you said.
Population.
Aging.
Excessive
Right?
media among aging. No, wait, I don't think that flows. Excessive social media among
Oh, sorry.
aging population. Among the aging population. The aging population has.
Okay. No, you don't have to use as. You can always, like I said, you can always tweak it while you're revising, tweak it to, fit your grammar usage, right? So the excess social media usage among the aging population.
The active aging population. That's even better.
Okay. So can you help me with the sentence?
Okay.
Leads. Sorry, I just made it.
That's good. Leads to.
Uh-huh.
To eye strain and headaches.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
To health. You can say health detriment, such as. You can always use such as.
Okay, yeah.
Health detriments, such as eye strain, headaches, and can someone help me? Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. You're on mute, Carol. Carol, you're on mute. Sir.
I was thinking of something like poor posture or
Yes.
yeah, I don't know, poor posture.
So sorry, yeah, that's very correct, but I think it's people always say poor back posture because they're always like this.
Like this.
Yeah.
Ooh. You sit up.
Yeah. Poor back posture.
Or neck strain.
Neck strain is a good one.
Okay, we can make it 4. Like, remember I said minimum of 3. So poor back posture, neck strain. So right there is your thesis statement. So can we just use bodily? Or some, let's just use physical health challenge. Well, I don't know how to spell physical. All right. So excess social media usage among active aging population leads to physical health challenges such as eye strain, headaches, poor back posture, and neck strain. So my point here is that the TAPS idea is that we have a topic, excess social media usage, we have our audience, active aging population, and then we have our points, eye strain, headaches, poor back posture, and neck strain, right? And again, remember, right, you don't have to put this. You don't have to have, you can just have your thesis statement like this. Excess social media usage among active aging population leads to eye strain, headaches, poor back posture, and neck strain. You can have your thesis statement like that. That's totally fine, right? Instead of this way, leads to physical health challenges such as, which would you prefer? Carol, anybody, would you prefer the previous or this?
The previous, I would.
Oh, the previous,
Without
right?
the physical health challenges.
Yeah. So you can take that off if you want to. Because it's actually it's self-explanatory, right? Or you can say excess social media usage among aging population leads to, you know, physical health defects such as eye strain, headaches, and all that. So that's good. All right, let's go to the next one. The mental health crisis is rampant in our society. All right, can someone help me with that? I'll call on Veronica. What's the problem with this?
Well, we don't have a targeted audience.
Good. Target audience. All right, so what do you mean by we don't have a target audience? What's making this thesis statement lack a target audience?
I think we have to define society.
Exactly, very well. Very well, correct. Yes. So again, let me just make this also clearer, right? Maybe you can even write this down. When you're writing your thesis statement, avoid vague words such as thin, like thin, CHING, something, anything, right? Those are vague words. Your professor will ask, like, what do you mean by thin? Like, well, what's that thing you're talking about? You know, avoid words like people, right? Don't use the word people, right? Yeah, don't use the word people. Avoid words like society, right? Don't use the word society. Don't use the phrase this generation, right? This generation are addicted to their phones, right? Don't use that. Don't use this generation, right? Just be very specific as to what you mean by generation, right? Yeah, those are words you should avoid. Yeah, I think I've said it all. Yeah. So just avoid, and I'm sure that when you're revising your thesis statement, right, you would notice some vague words, right? So just try to, you know, fix those vague words, change them to a more sophisticated or narrowed word or specific word. So mental health crisis is rampant in our society. Yeah, the problem here is in society, right? We need a more specific word, to define society. Like, what part of society are you talking about? So the mental health crisis. So what's another problem with this?
There's not 3 points in it.
Yes, we don't have the 3 points. Very good. Someone else wanted to say something.
Oh, it's Veronica. I was going to say the word rampant. I don't know what that means as far as.
Exactly. Very good. I don't want to forget that. Yes. Rampant, society, rampant. We don't have the 3 points, right? So the mental health crisis is rampant in our society, right? So in our society, right? What do you mean by society, right? We could think about a part of our society. We could think about an age, maybe like an age group, could be an age group.
Or can we say the aging population?
Yeah, the aging population. Right? Yeah, it could be age group, could be an aging population, and yeah, that's it. That's it. It could be maybe, what's it called? It could actually be economically determined, right? Maybe among, some people say, among some research, you say among low-income families and all that, there's a rampant mental health crisis and all that. And yeah, and many more, right? Rampant, right? Like you said, we can still retain the word rampant. Rampant just means that it's kind of obvious, right? It's or you can say it's happening tremendously.
Could it be out of control?
Yeah, it could be out of control. Good. Yeah. Tremendous.
Maybe it could be reached a peak.
Very good. Thank you very much. Now we don't have now the last part is that we don't have our 3 points. So what do we want to say about mental health crisis? Now the problem with this here is that these students that wrote this thesis statement, apart from the fact that the student misses the aspect of having an audience, right? The student also misses the 3 point, but the student also misses the process of asking the research question, right? Because remember, it's when you ask your research question and you answer your research question, that's when you get your points, right? So to gather the 3 points, we just have to be creative with it, right? The mental health crisis is rampant in our society, right? So what do we want to say about mental health, right? So to ask a question, how do we start? Can someone help me?
So we can start with the why. So could we say because of poor health care? The mental.
Okay, because of, go on, please. I'm writing as you're saying.
Because of poor health care, or the mental, what did we say? The mental health is suffering.
Exactly. All right, that sounds good. So this is what we're going to do just for the sake of this session, right? We're going to choose one we're going to choose one group here, right? You know, where we have society. So what group should we choose? Aging population? Should we choose, can we choose low income families?
Can we choose millennials?
Can we choose, wow, that's so good. I like that. All right, let's go with millennials, right? So, okay. Sorry, one minute. All right. So we can say mental, oh, let's just say thesis statement. Let's write thesis statement here. Mental health crisis is as we because, wait, sorry. Because of poor health care, because that comes in many forms. All right, point one.
How about because of not no access to health care, but limited access to health care?
That could be a point, limited access to health care.
Limited access to health care.
Because that's different from poor health care means that you don't even care about healthcare, right? Limited access is that maybe the government is not providing that for millennials. Limited access to healthcare. Or what were you thinking when you said limited access?
So that's what I was saying. Limited, like it's not accessible to you. You don't have as many options.
Yes, awesome. Okay, another point.
And
one more point.
Undiagnosed mental illness.
So undiagnosed mental illness.
That might be too much mental. The mental.
Exactly.
Undiagnosed undiagnosed.
Yeah, you were about to use the word, the T word.
Care. No, I was getting ready to say treatment, but that doesn't go either.
Oh, I thought you were about to say undiagnosed trauma.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good one.
Trauma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the T word, the undiagnosed trauma. Yeah. So that's it. Very good. So that's just it. You all are doing great, like creating a thesis statement right now. And okay. So we'll just do one more and then we'll go to other discussions before we end this session. Okay, let's talk about this. Drinking too much alcohol is bad for your health.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with this thesis statement? Although there are so many things wrong with it, there are other aspects. There are some other wrong areas in this thesis statement that I'll show you, different from what we've been talking about so far. But what do you think is wrong with this thesis statement? Samuel, can you help me?
Who is the audience?
Exactly. No audience. Who else? What else? Someone else? Judith? Or anybody? Oh, Judith, you're muted.
I would say it's too broad. It's not specific enough.
So what's not specific enough here?
Who's going to determine what is too much? So drinking too much alcohol every too much is not easily defined, because what may be too much for one person is not too much for somebody else.
Exactly. Very good. Thank you very much for that. So always remember, right? There are some words you would see. Thank you, Judith, for spotting that. Words like too much. That's so vague. So add it to that list. Can you remember I gave you a list like you shouldn't use words like something, thing, and all that. So add words like too much, right? That's vague. And like she said, I like the word Judith used. It's broad, right? We don't know what too much means there, right? So drinking too much alcohol is bad for your health. So what's something else that's wrong with this? Something else? We've talked about audience, we've talked about go on.
Oh, so when we say it's bad, we have to have the points to tell us why it's bad.
Very good. Sorry. Very good. Missing points, right? So let's construct our thesis statement. So let's start with the audience, right? Who should we choose as our audience? What group of people or what?
Could we use unemployed people? Well, I know
Okay.
we're not supposed to use people. Are we supposed to be more specific, like maybe
No.
unemployed men or something?
Well, you can say unemployed men. You can say yeah, you can do it based on gender. That's totally fine. Unemployed man. It's wrong. But remember, we're talking about health, right? So does employment determine health? So I just want to remember, like when we said, remember we said that your thesis statement must be arguable, right? Because your professor will be looking for, okay, how does unemployment affect alcohol consumption, right? And therefore affect health, right? So I don't think that, for me, this is just my own personal, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think unemployment has any effect on alcohol consumption, although it does to an extent, right? But it's just few cases, right? And then go on.
I was going to say, so could we say excessive drinking for males over 50 is bad for your health?
All right, awesome. Males over 50. So that's good, right? That's good. All right. So let's talk about too much, right? Or we don't have to focus on too much for now. When we are constructing the sentence, I'm sure we'll find a way to just eliminate that word too much, right? So excessive drinking
or excessive use of alcohol.
Okay. No, use is actually very so when you're writing your thesis statement, you must also make sure you use sophisticated words or words that would, should I say, or you should use terminologies, right, that connects to your topic. For instance, when we're talking about alcohol, we talk about consumption. All right, very good. So we can say, and again, you can always start with your audience. You can say males over 50, right, should, all right, can go on.
Males over 50 should avoid excessive use of alcohol or
Okay.
excessive drinking of alcohol or something.
Can you say excessive alcohol consumption?
Okay. Should
Be-
avoid alcohol. We didn't say excessive, so we left that
No,
word out.
yeah, excessive, yes.
Uh-huh,
I'm sorry, that
excessive.
was my mistake. Yeah.
Okay. Alcohol consumption. Okay.
Because
of increased cirrhosis of the liver.
all right. Or you know what? Sorry, let's do this. Excessive, we can say excessive among males. Could lead to cirrhosis. I don't know if I spelled that well, of the liver. Sorry. I think it's cirrhosis. Yes,
I think it
cirrhosis.
starts with a P.
Yeah, P. Yeah, you're correct.
And liver is L-I-V-E-R.
Liver.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh my God. Cirrhosis. I was like, thanks for
We know
that.
what you mean.
Yeah, right. Thanks for that though. So excessive alcohol consumption among males over 50 years old could lead to cirrhosis of the liver. Oh, I think we should just have. All right, another point.
Heart failure.
And
Kidney disease.
kidney disease. Good. So what do you all think? Any question? Carol, any question?
I'm still struggling with the word excessive, and
Mhm.
thinking maybe we need to define maybe like drinking every day. It's because excessive, I don't know, I'm still struggling with the word excessive. Because I know
Right.
I'll read things and they'll say people should not, it's okay to have like a glass of wine.
Mhm.
And they kind of put some type of measure.
Yes.
And that's what I was thinking about the word excessive. If we could measure what excessive is. Drink,
Excessive daily.
yep, daily.
I think excessive would be whatever is too much for you.
Yeah.
Right. So excessive in my opinion, is a good word because it's not limited to anything. It's whatever is excessive for you. For example, they give us medication based on our weight and our age. So if you are a larger person, they give you higher dosage of medication. If you are a very petite person, then you get a lower dosage. So I think in the same term of drinking, people consume or are able to handle different levels of alcohol.
Okay. So what are you trying to say? So Judith and Carol, I want you all to listen to this. So are you trying to say that, so for Judith first, are you trying to say excessive can be used like subjectively, like, or objectively, depending on the person?
Exactly.
So Carol, do you agree with that?
I agree, but I still struggle with if it's like according to your body weight, if we could define, which I know we probably can't, the body weight based on the amount of alcohol the person is consuming in the thesis statement.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh.
Think of excessive, and I know what you're saying, Judith, and I really appreciate what you're saying. But for the individual, if I drink alcohol, I may just look at excessive like I can handle my alcohol. but it may be I'm still being excessive based on medical, like you described the medicines and things. Based on something medical, I might be excessive, but in the thesis statement, for someone to read it, the reader may feel like, well, I know I can handle my alcohol, so I don't drink excessively.
Okay, so in that case, right, personally, if a student uses the word excessive, I understand what the students mean, right? Meaning that the person is going above normal usage. But then, and I also know some people would also hold on to Carol's argument, and then some people might say, okay, you know what, we don't want to use excessive, we want to use unhealthy.
Yes.
Unhealthy alcohol consumption. Just to like, even though personally I'll prefer excessive, right? But then some people will like work with unhealthy just to work with Carol's arguments. Or what do you think, Carol?
I think excessive kind of won the argument because you kind of like excessive.
Yeah.
Likes excessive, and so
Yeah.
I know Samuel was saying excessive daily alcohol consumption. Maybe we could throw daily in there because if you're drinking it every day, that might be excessive right there.
Yes. Okay, excessive daily alcohol. It sounds redundant to me, but then this is an academic environment. This is how it's meant to be, right? We're meant to like, argue about points, healthily argue, right? Engage in healthy arguments. So that's and constructive arguments. So that's good. Some people might say excessive daily alcohol consumption. Personally, my own opinion, this sounds a little redundant, excessive and daily in one phrase. Sounds like it's saying the same thing, two different words, but it's fine. All right, so excessive daily alcohol consumption among males over 50 years old could lead to liver. Why did I write this in capital? Cirrhosis, heart failure, and
cirrhosis.
Okay.
CIRR.
CIRR.
HOSIS.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Carol, for that. Liver cirrhosis, heart failure, and kidney disease. So so right now, I feel like you all are getting the point about how to create a thesis statement, right? And how to spot when your thesis statement is incomplete, right? So that's it. So let's just go to other areas. Let me just stop sharing.
Question.
Go on, please.
Is a thesis statement only one sentence?
Yes, your thesis statement is only one sentence.
Okay.
Yes. Very good question. Thank you. All right. So now our next part here. So other areas to observe when creating a thesis statement, right? So now, this is it. Your thesis statement should never be in a question/interrogative sentence. Like this is like, don't even go there. Don't write your thesis statement in a question format, right? Like what is, or why is leadership important? Why is quality sleep important? That's not a thesis statement, right? That's just a research question, as we noted, right? But that's not your thesis statement. So never write your thesis statement in a question/interrogative sentence, right? I've seen many students write their thesis statement in an interrogative format, right? Don't do that. Because in a research setting, you are supposed to answer questions, right? Not further ask questions, right? You're supposed to answer questions. right? That's what I'm talking of in the context of when you're writing your essay, right? You're supposed to answer questions. Your essay should answer questions, right? How can church leaders observe self-care? That's a research question. But when you're writing your essay, you should answer the question, right? Church leaders can observe health care, self-care by dash, dash, and dash, right? You're answering the question. Now, the second part, avoid announcement. For instance, don't start your thesis statement with this paper will explain blah, blah, blah. This paper will be doing this. Don't write that, right? You see what we've been doing so far, right? We never started as thesis statements with this paper will be, this essay will be stating how self-care is important for church leaders. No, don't start your thesis statements with that. Now, avoid wordy sentences. So far, we've constructed concise thesis statements, right? So far, they are so concise. Now, look at this example here. I think I also have this. Let me just share something else here. Now, let's look at this example. Look at this example here, right? Like, do you all feel like this is different from what we've constructed so far? Like the sentence length, do you feel like it's different? The sentence length, yeah, it's different, right? This is just too long for a thesis statement, right? Well, not because, well, we're not actually saying your thesis statement should be all short, right? We just want your thesis statement to be concise, right? Every word in your thesis statement must be purposeful, right? It must be purposeful. So you have here many athletes, such as those who play in college or for organizations like NCAA, do not make any money, which is devastating because they deserve to make a substantial amount of money due to their efforts on the courts and on the field, and due to the fact that colleges earn profit off the sports that these athletes play. Like, what do you all think about this?
I think it's too long, and it's giving it's trying to give an answer within the statement.
Yeah.
Answer to what?
For why they should make money. They should, why athletes who play in college should make more money.
Okay, so do you think it's wrong for the writer to indicate why, to answer why?
I don't think it's wrong to answer why, but I think it's too much. I think it's too wordy. They could answer why without having all these extra words.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Judy. That's so good. So I like the way you stated that. The writer doesn't need to state all this. It's just too much, right? And you also write this down, everybody. So even when you're writing your essays, right, words like due to the facts, right, avoid those. Due to their efforts, right, within a statement, don't use that. You see, we're going to revise this, right? And again, I would like you all to revise this, if you want to, right? How can we revise this? I want you to just take 2 minutes to think about this, right? 2 minutes, think about this. How would you revise this statement to be concise? And then once you're done, type your answers in the chat section. Just type your answers in the chat box. Let's take 2 minutes to do that, please. And remember, you can, tweak it, write it, be creative about it. You can tweak some words there. You can tweak some phrases there. You don't have to use the same words, phrases, This is 8:07. Once it's 8:10, you can start typing. Okay. I've gotten one. Many athletes who play sports in college. But the college earns profit. Hi, Carol. Remember that the writer here is talking about the why, is answering the why. Why should college athletes earn? Do you get it now?
I should be turning it into a question.
No, I'm just saying that remember that the writer here is answering why. Why should college athletes earn from the revenue colleges or earn from the money that colleges make?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I should be trying to present it as an argument that they should be making money, not just stating.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna try it again.
All right, please try it again. All right, Judith, sounds good. But remember, you're missing something. You're missing your points. College athletes should be compensated for financial benefits they bring to their organizations. Yes, so Judith, your point is missing. That's all. You have a good start. Go on.
Okay, my point is they bring money to the organization.
Oh, I see now. college athletes should be compensated.
Right.
So because you use the preposition for. So when you use the preposition for does not, the preposition for, F-O-R, does not determine result.
So I should say
consequence.
because.
Exactly.
Because of. Okay, I got you.
Exactly. So let's look at Veronica. College athletes should receive funding because of their skill on the sport, played for the NCAA, and because college is. Thank you, Veronica. Very good. Very good. So you don't have to have because twice. You have because twice, Veronica. And colleges profit from their skills. All right. So you should remove the second because.
Okay.
Good, 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 good. All right. All right. I'll just wait for Samuel. Have you turned in?
I'm working on it.
Oh, okay. All right. You're good. So we're just waiting for Samuel, Carol, and
Higher education institution. Okay. Many college athletes generate revenue for colleges and are not compensated, while colleges make profits, increase their financial standing, and market their higher education institution. Okay, trust. See how that? Well, I didn't realize I wasn't muted, but look, take a look at that one, please.
all right. Many college athletes generate and market their higher education. So it says this, right? So according to what the writer has here, so what you have, the structure of what you have sounds like you're only answering what is happening, but you're not stating why it is happening. So you're saying many college athletes generate revenue for colleges and are not compensated, while colleges make profits, increase their financial standing, and market their educational institution. Okay. Yeah. So basically, you're not stating an argument, right? So I want you to rewrite this. I'm going to give you one more chance, but I want the word because. I want you to put because in your statement. Because the argument the author is making here is that students, athletes who play with the NCAA should make money, right? And he's stating why they should make money, right? From the revenue they generate for colleges. So
I could start with because.
No, you can't start with because. So you can start with athletes or college athletes should receive.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Should receive compensation.
Because blah, blah, blah. Samuel, are you in? Oh. Right. 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Ten more seconds. Right, college. Very good. That's good. Yeah. Although it doesn't go in line with what the author here is arguing, right? Because the author is not talking about, increased enrollment, right? Yeah. But then what you have here looks like a thesis statement because you have your audience, you have your points, right? Secures funding, financial gain, and increased enrollment. And then you also have your topic, right? College receiving compensation, right? College students receiving compensation. So very good, very good. All right.
Wow.
Okay. All right, time up. All right, so Samuel, me and you will talk later about your thesis statement. And so let's just go on to the next.
Well, I'll give you what I got, I guess.
All right. Okay, college athletes are no financial compensation for sport they play when the college, although they expel high level of play on the field, and the colleges profit greatly through marketing. All right, so again, like what you have here, right? What you have here is only stating what is happening. It's not stating why it is happening, right? What the author here is arguing that college athletes must receive revenue, right? And it's not just arguing that they should receive revenue, it's arguing why they should receive revenue, right? So college athletes, like what? I'll just use, let's look at Veronica's argument here. It says college athletes should receive compensation because of their skills on the court. They play for the NCAA, and because colleges profit from their skills. Right? You see it? So we have the audience, college athletes, topic, college athletes receiving compensation. And then we have the 3 points, right? Because of their skills on the courts, they play for the NCAA, and because colleges profit from their skills. That's the 3rd point. You get. So that's it. All right. So before we go on to the last aspect, so is there anybody that has any question? Any questions for me? Any questions? All right. So come in. All right. So here. Now, again, one other thing you have to avoid is you must avoid writing in first or second person voice. I think this is so obvious, right? Don't even use I, we, you in your thesis statement, right? And then avoid informal languages, right? Use sophisticated words, right? For instance, in our previous thesis statements, we used the word bad, B-A-D, right? So, and again, remember we changed it, right? Excessive alcohol consumption is what? Instead of bad, what can we use? Excessive alcohol consumption is what? Instead of the word bad.
Unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. Another word. For bad.
Detrimental.
Detrimental. Very good. Wow, Judith, you're the dictionary here. In where I come from, that's what we'll call you, a dictionary. All right. One more word. One more. For bad, you can check Google if you want to. Feel free, please. You don't have to. For bad. Just one more. Oh, Carol, I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Harmful.
Exactly, it's harmful. Very good. Yes. All right. So try as much as possible to avoid those vague words, right? Use more sophisticated words, and again, avoid informal language. Okay, we already said that. So like, look at this. The food in America is gross, unhealthy, and expensive. So we probably shouldn't be eating any of it. Can someone tell me what's wrong with this thesis statement?
It's not specific. It's basically saying all food. So you have to eat something. So I think it should be a certain type of food.
Exactly. What kind of food? Right. All right. Food in America is gross. What else? What else is wrong? There's something wrong here.
So we probably shouldn't be eating any of it. It's stating an answer right there.
Exactly. So we probably shouldn't be eating any of it, right? There's a problem there, right? It's unspecific, like eating any of what. But it also goes back to Judith's points, right? What food are we talking about? Like, what food shouldn't we eat? Right? So two more points. Something else is wrong. All right.
So why is it gross? What makes it gross?
What makes it gross? All right, very good point. But then one other thing we have to also look at, the word gross is informal, right? That's not a sophisticated word. So what other word can you use instead of gross?
We could say it's tasteless.
No. Okay, that's unspecific. Tasteless.
Okay, tasteless. Okay, that makes it gross.
But then, okay, I'm going to help you all, right? So this is what we can do. Let's work on this, right? There's something else that is wrong with this thesis statement. And this is like the last example we'll be treating in this session. In America, like, that's too general. The food in America is gross. Not every food in America is gross, right? And again, it goes back to this first question, but we can't just talk about America as our target audience. We have to focus on a specific target audience, right? So what's target audience when you want to talk about unhealthy and expensive food? What group of people is food unhealthy? Let's use the word gross and expensive. So what group of people would you say experience gross, unhealthy, and expensive food?
Is fast food, is that, Never mind.
No, 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 no.
Veronica, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
The target is fast food eaters, people who eat at fast food restaurants.
exactly.
It's gross, it's unhealthy, it's expensive to eat out, and it's not nutritious.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of grease and salt.
All right. So if that's oh my God, if that's the case, then all right. So let's tweak our thesis statement. Let's change this, right? So the food, we can't say the food in America, right? We can't make America, the whole of America, our audience, right? So who would be your audience here? Instead of using the whole of America.
Fast food restaurants.
But what fast food restaurants? You have to be specific. So if you're talking about,
McDonald's.
I didn't say that. I like McDonald's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
I
just
think Burger
joking. I'm
King.
just joking.
Let's say the Goodies franchise.
Oh my God.
Ah.
Oh, sorry. I hope I'm spelling it well. The Goodies franchise. All right. So the Goodies food.
So can we just say the fast food industry?
That would be too general because not
Okay.
all fast food, like there are some fast foods that are actually healthy.
Okay. Fast food is not fast food anymore. You have lines.
I don't know. I really love this article. Eat this, not that. How many of you read that article online? Eat this. Oh, yeah. And they always talk about some fast food restaurants that are actually that sell healthy food. Okay. Okay. So we have to choose a specific fast food restaurant. I think what's coming up in everybody's mind is McDonald's. So we'll just do McDonald's. All right. So what should we say sandwiches, or what word should we use to qualify the food so that McDonald's?
Can we say excessive sodium? We talk about that. Oh, you say what specific food? The
Yeah.
burger, the non-burger, the hamburgers that don't have any beef in them.
Oh, the non-burgers. I don't know. I hope I'm correct.
The fried foods.
Yeah, the fried foods.
Oh, I got a good one. They're chicken nuggets that's really made out of chicken paste.
Ooh, what's that?
So what is synthetic foods? I don't know.
Okay. What?
They are unhealthy.
So now I know we talk about unhealthy, right? Unhealthy in what sense?
Clog your arteries, raise your blood pressure.
Okay.
Low nutritional value.
Low nutritional value.
Undercooked.
Okay.
Full of fructose, full of sugar that causes increased diabetes.
Undercooked. Full of what?
Sugar or fructose. Sugar and salt. Okay. So, you know, like the sodas and things like that, they have,
Yeah.
so we have a lot of increased diabetes in America because a lot of people eat more fast food.
Oh, okay. Then let's make it this way, right?
Mhm.
The
We can say that the fast food industry has contributed greatly to the demise or the increased levels of diabetes in American children.
has contributed largely. Let's use tremendously.
That's good.
All right, the fast food industries have, have contributed tremendously
to the growing number of juvenile diabetes. Diabetes cases.
I think we just start with diabetes because we still have more words to go.
Okay.
All right, due to
the high level of sugar.
Of sugar in what?
Their products.
What product?
Their sodas, ice cream, cookies, French fries are starch and they turn to sugar in the blood. The big buns and the little burgers, so the buns turn to sugar. All the starch turns to sugar.
So high level of sugar in beverages.
Or we can say the high level of starch
okay.
and sugars, right?
Yeah, starch and sugar in what?
In their products.
So you have to be specific about the products. What kind of product?
Okay, in their sodas and tea, sweet tea, they use artificial, fructose. They use artificial sugar.
Yeah, yeah. And what else? Due to high level of starch. Another point.
So the high level of starch would be the bread and the fries. They, the buns are large, the meat is not. So I don't know.
Okay, so if we have due to the high level of starch and sugar in sodas, we have that as 1 point.
Okay.
Right, we need another point, like 2 more points. Someone else, or Judith, or Veronica,
So
or Samuel.
I could contribute, but I probably would argue with this because they're not doing anything anybody else does. I mean, all of this isn't particular to the fast food industry.
Yeah, that's something else. But then I think I resonate with what Judith said, because if you go to some fast food, like they have a different kind of, like the way they make their drink is actually different from the sodas and the cans.
Yeah.
Right, so different. So there is it's like this starch they pour into something and
right, it's a syrup. It's a syrup that they use. They don't even use like regular sugar.
Yeah, they don't use the regular
sugar.
Yeah. One more point, just one more, and what? We will not go with 3. And what?
So we could talk about also the cholesterol or we talking about diabetes, right? So
yes.
Okay. So what else? Somebody said, I don't know if this is true, but we'd have to research it, that they put things in their food to make you crave the food. So you kind of, it's like addictive almost, because you start eating this, and then you become addicted to it. Now, I don't know if
Yeah,
that's true.
same here. I think gluten or whatever it's called. I
Yeah.
forgot what it's called. Yeah, I don't even know if that's true.
Corn syrup,
Mhm.
What do you say, Samo?
high fructose corn syrup.
Yes, high fructose corn syrup. Where is it in sodas? Where do they actually put the high fructose corn syrup?
You name it, it's in it probably. It's
Yeah,
look at
true.
all the labels. It's in half of everything out there.
It
Wow.
is. It is.
High level of star.
Even when you get, like, if you get canned fruit, it's in that. It's in you know, you have to really read the labels because they put that stuff in everything.
hmm. I hope I'm correct with the spelling though. Like, is this what you guys mean?
It's high fructose corn syrup. It's one thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is it, right? The fast food industries have contributed tremendously to the growing number of juvenile diabetes due to the high level of starch and sugar in sodas and fructose corn syrup. In
And-
what? In what? Can we say sandwiches? I don't know.
Can
where
we say just say in their products? Because
So products to be so general. Like I know the fructose corn syrup is like in everything, right? So but I just
Right.
want us to be specific. Can you just choose one thing, one other thing, one other beverage or food that they would put fructose corn?
sweet in their sweet tea,
No, we already
in-
have sodas, right?
in
How
their
about
soda.
buns?
Oh yeah, buns.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, so we can just say sandwiches. Let's just put sandwiches.
You could take, okay,
Or sandwich
all-
buns?
yep.
And their desserts, because they serve pies and cookies. And even in their breakfast, what's that bun thing that it's almost like a pancake, but it's not.
Oh, I know what you're talking
The
McGriddle.
McGriddle, the
Yeah.
McGriddle sandwich.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, but it's still a sandwich, right?
Yeah,
All
but
right, you can just
it's a sandwich, but it's a breakfast sandwich, but it has sugar in it. I mean,
wow.
mhm.
Okay, so we have fructose corn syrup in sandwich buns, and then we have high level of starch and sugar in sodas, right? And so we have 2 points, right? Let's just leave it at 2 points for now. But remember, right, in an academic essay, you're supposed to have a minimum of 3 points, right? So that's it. Oh, someone said why? Did someone ask why? Judith, did you
Oh
ask
no,
why?
no, no.
Oh,
I wasn't asking why.
oh yeah, no, because that's even if anybody did, that's a good question. The truth is that I don't even know, right? I just know it's just like this stated rule that it should be 3 points. Just give us 3 points. And I have a feeling that if you give 3 points, you're showing that your thesis statement is relevant, right? If
I
you're
know.
able to give 3 points.
I know when you're doing a sermon, we were always taught you do 3 points because people are not going to remember anything more than that.
Oh, okay, that's a good one then. All right, sounds good. Okay, so I think we're good here. We're good to go. So, all right, I think we're good now, and we're supposed to do some activities, but our time is up. I think we've done enough activities. So, one final question from anybody before we go. One final question.
I have no question, but thank you so much for this training and teaching, and I look forward to the next one.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So thanks for saying that, because the next one would be, let me check. So the next one is actually July 21, using proper academic and formal words, right? July 21, Thursday, July 21, how to use proper academic and formal word. So basically, it's just going to be about word choices, right? How do you choose the accurate word choice? All right. And then we'll have another one, August 18, Thursday. That's how to create detailed paragraphs, right? Because sometimes before we start an essay, we're always confused about what to write in a paragraph. So this session, I would actually be showing how to, how to think about a paragraph, right? And the specific contents that you should observe in a paragraph, or that you should write in a paragraph. So that's it. So, all right, any other question? Any question? All right, thank you very much. So just remember, if you're just going to remember, if there's anything you should remember from this session, right? Just remember the TAPS rule, right? Topic, audience, point, structure, right? Your thesis statement should indicate your topic, right? Thesis statement should indicate your audience, right? College students, all right? And then your thesis statement should indicate your points, right? Should have, a minimum of 3 points, right? Like what we have here. College student need the discipline of quality sleep for. Point 1, sound productivity. Point 2, effective focus. Point 3, knowledge retainment, right? 3 points. And then the last part is S, right? Structure, right? Your thesis statement determines your structure. So if you have 3 points, right, your thesis statement should be placed in your introduction paragraph, right? When you're writing your essay, the thesis statement should be in your introduction paragraph. And then the next paragraph that comes, or the next body paragraph, should be, that will be your first body paragraph, should just discuss the first point in your thesis statement, right? So in this context, sound productivity was the first point, right? So that first body paragraph would only discuss sound productivity. Now, your second body paragraph will just discuss effective focus, right? Because the second point, if you look at this, the second point here is effective focus, all right? Sorry, please. So the second point here is effective focus. So your second point should discuss effective focus. And then your third paragraph should discuss knowledge retainment, right? That's because your third point in your thesis statement is knowledge retainment. It's as simple as that, right? So yes, I'm glad you all were able to make it. I'm sure you all have learned a lot. I've also learned from you all. Well, I feel like I won't eat McDonald's again after this. And thank you very much for being here. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good
Hey,
evening.
Veronica.
Thank you. Hi, Judith. How you been?
I'm good. I'm good. We'll
Good.
talk. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Enjoyed everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. You too.